Hail and well-met adventurers, I am the Dungeon Master, and I welcome you to my personal reaction to the State of Play of August 2020 that was released a couple of days ago by Sony. From what I can tell, this presentation is over 40 minutes long, which means that there is going to be a lot to see in here. From what I've heard, it's mostly PS4 gameplay, which isn't a bad thing. We did have the big PS5 reveal a while back, so it stands to reason that they're not going to be talking about that console anytime soon. But I myself am excited for what is going to be in this. Although I actually do know one of the copious amounts of games that in this month's State of Play. And of course, what better way to start this off than with the classic PS4 controller loading startup screen. Normal sound this time. I can roll with that. Rated in for mature. Oh wow, starting strong this time.
Hey everyone,
Crash
I'm
Bandicoot 4.
producer at Toys for Bob, and I'm here to talk to you about Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time. Crash 4 is a direct sequel to Crash Bandicoot Warped. The devious villains Neocortex and Dr. Entropy have finally escaped their interdimensional prison, leaving an evil scientist-sized hole in the universe. Now they've got their eyes set on not only simply conquering this dimension, but all dimensions. And it's up to Crash and Coco to save the day.
I haven't played the remastered
Crash Bandicoot
trilogy
4 It's
either.
About Time is the first totally new game in the Crash Bandicoot series in over a decade. So for us at Toys for Bob, we felt that it was important to reintroduce longtime fans as well as new players to this amazing franchise.
Just throwing that out there.
First, we made sure to incorporate the classic tense, precise, and perspective-shifting platforming that we all fell in love with.
Fun but
and
frustrating.
Then we wanted to introduce exciting new elements that we can't wait to show you today. Let's start with Insanity Beach. This is where Crash's adventure first started, and where we pick things up again in Crash 4.
Demo of
but
Crash
there's definitely been
Bandicoot
changes
1.
since we first saw
I still
Insanity
have that,
Beach all those
way.
years ago. And throughout Crash 4, you'll see those changes to our gameplay and even our art style. Our art teams wanted to take inspiration from not just the original games, but the animated cartoons that inspired those original games, all while also delivering bigger, more awe-inspiring dimensions to explore. Throughout Crash 4, you'll see wide-open new vistas, new character models, and lots of expressive animations. And with all of that also comes new additions to the platform, like having the ability to wall run, rope swing, rail grind, and zip line as well.
Seeing a lot of new mechanics.
In the original trilogy, specifically Crash Warped, there were certain moments in the game where Crash would change outfits. Think Crash wearing a biker jacket when riding a motorcycle. That seemed like a natural area for us to expand upon. So we have loaded the game with tons of awesome skins that you can earn and wear throughout the game. These skins are totally cosmetic and a fun way to express yourself while playing the game. And just to be clear, there's no MTX here. Skins are earned by completing different challenges and earning gems within levels.
Classic, I like it.
Crash 4 also introduces the Quantum Masks, the powerful protectors of time and space. Crash and Coco will need their assistance throughout the game to tackle the crazy challenges that we're going to be throwing at the player. Whether it's Ika Ika, who gives you the ability to instantly flip your center of gravity at the press of a button.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Kapunawa, who allows you to slow down the world around you.
And that's neat.
Or Lonnie Lowly, who allows you to phase shift elements in and out of existence. Bending the rules of reality and altering your environment with these new masks is a must. We also can't wait to talk to you about the fourth mask, Akano, but that's going to have to wait for another day. What we can tell you today, though, is that Crash isn't the only character you get to take control of during this adventure. For starters, you can play the entire game as Coco.
That's interesting.
Any level that you can play as Crash, you can also play as Coco. It was also very important for us that she take a more prominent role in the story this time as well. But that's not all. We've got a few other characters that you'll get to control at key points in the adventure, so that they can provide their own fresh perspectives and new gameplay. Here you can see that you'll be taking control of Neocortex. He's all about using his blaster to
play as the main villain this time
an enemy in his path. In addition to playing as Cortex, we're excited to reveal that for the first time, you'll also get to tail slap your way through crates as Dingodile. I repeat, you get to play as Dingodile in Crash 4.
A lot of classic Crash fans will be
happy about that. A lot has changed in the years since we last saw Dingodile. In fact, he hung up his old flamethrower rocket launcher combo when he decided to retire from a life of villainy and open a diner. Unfortunately for Dingo, fortunately for us, his adventure begins by witnessing the destruction of said beloved diner and getting sucked into another dimension.
Yeah, he's having a bad day.
Finally, there's one more surprise I'm incredibly excited to show you today. The Crash Bandicoot series has always been about finding new and exciting ways to play through the game. In the past, it's been about taking on time trials or discovering all the hidden secrets.
They've gone above and beyond.
Well, for Crash 4, we wanted to bring something brand new to the table. So we teamed up with our friends at Beanox to create a brand new style of play for Crash 4 that we call Inverted Mode. It's our souped-up, bumpa-berry-fueled take on a mirror mode. Not only are perspective shifted, but now each of the dimensions are rendered in a new and unique art style that really changes the look and feel of the experience. One dimension could be asking you to traverse through a neon wasteland, while another tasks players with spinning paint all over the environment to see their path forward. We've even got one that feels like an old-timey movie with the overcranked camera speed increasing the actual speed of gameplay as well. Once unlocked, players can replay all the game's levels with a totally new and dynamic look and feel. It's an incredibly fun feature that is going to give every player, especially the completionists out there, a reason to revisit each level again to see what new and exciting experiences in store for them.
Looking forward to this episode of The Completionist.
So that's some of the new stuff that we have in store for you in Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time. Experience the space and time-bending madness on October 2nd.
That's actually not that much time. Okay.
Today's State of Play is loaded with third-party updates for PS4 and PSVR.
Off to a great start
PS5
so
gameplay
far.
too.
Let's see what else is on the table.
We open the show with an all-new look at Crash 4. It's About Time, coming to PlayStation 4 on October 2nd.
What a swan
Now
song.
let's keep the party going with the latest from IO Interactive.
There's Hitman 3 from the previous State of Play, or the PS5 reveal, I should say. Welcome back, Mr. 47.
Besides, this is your big day. You should mingle, have fun. Oh, don't worry about that. My art speaks for
There's
itself.
the target,
Well,
or
I
at
have
the
to
very
go.
least.
I'll call you when I get back to New York.
Bodyguard, maybe? Careful not to get spotted. Yeah, he is the target. That guy is the security guy. Classic Hitman style. A brief bit of gameplay, but playing the entire trilogy in VR, which will be an interesting experience for many veterans. On to the third game. What secrets does this treasure chest hold, I wonder? Time is running backwards. This actually looks pretty amazing. Very distinctive art style. Braid Anniversary Edition. The music is fantastic as well.
We are happy happy to announce Braid Anniversary Edition.
2008.
It's the classic
the year
puzzle
it originally
adventure where
came
you
out.
manipulate time, hand repainted for modern, high resolutions.
Many areas have been re-envisioned to make them more unique, and it's even more like a living painting with brushstrokes animating the world. There are more than 9 pixels for each pixel in the original game.
The
There are
original
new
doesn't look
animations
that
for
bad,
smoother
but the
motion,
remaster
Improved
is
sound and
definitely-
music to enhance the mood,
definitely a
and
notch
many
up.
hours of developer commentary and interviews on subjects
And
like
of course
puzzle
you can
design,
switch between both
programming, and
versions.
visual art.
We
Always a
plan to
good
make it
sign.
the most detailed commentary in any game ever. So if you want to learn how video games are made, Braid Anniversary Edition will be a really good resource.
We hope you'll enjoy the game when it comes out early next year.
Now this definitely is a definite work of art. Oh, now
The Pathless is a
PS5.
mythic adventure set on a mystical island. Let's take a quick tour in this new footage captured from PS5.
Hi everyone, this is Matt Nava from Giant Squid. I'm excited to share more with you today about our upcoming game, The Pathless. The Pathless is an open-world, mythic adventure game set in a vast forest. You play as the Hunter. The Hunter is a master of archery. She can shoot talismans to fill her dash meter, which allows her to bound across the landscape. Fluid, dynamic movement is at the core of the Pathless, so the game's unique take on archery is all about timing, not aiming down sights. This design was critical to making it possible to shoot even while moving fast and performing acrobatic maneuvers. You instantly feel as skilled as the Hunter herself.
I'm actually starting to enjoy this.
With help from the eagle, you can even fly. The bond between the hunter and the eagle is central in the Pathless.
Taking advantage of your environment.
You can gain altitude while you glide by flapping. Make sure you pet the eagle to keep it clean and in good flying condition.
Yeah, always look after your bird. Never neglect the bird.
You'll find secrets all over the island, if you know where to look.
Hidden treasures.
Collecting crystals will let you upgrade the eagle's ability to flap. You'll also discover larger puzzles to solve in ancient structures.
That's interesting. Circumventing certain paths.
The Pathless is all about finding your own way forward. So unlike most open-world games, there's no map. Instead, the hunter can use her mask to peer into the spirit world and discover distant landmarks. It even shows you where you've been. Getting to higher vantage points will let you see further with spirit vision.
That's a nice feature. Liking the color scheme.
Giant cursed spirits, the source of the darkness, will pose a constant threat to you on your quest. They will try to separate you from the eagle.
That's never a good thing.
Stay still in the light to avoid detection.
I like how it's open world, but it doesn't feel like a sandbox experience, which is a
You
plus.
won't be able
in
to
my
take
book.
on the cursed spirits until you've returned light to the obelisks. obelisks are restored, the cursed spirits will be vulnerable. Chase them down through the forest to corner them in a dramatic final battle.
Yeah, the pacing of this is very smooth. You can definitely see a lot of people enjoying this one. Careful, stamina run out though. Beware the giant moose. Fireballs, apparently. It's not actually moose, but you get the
The hunter and eagle will have to defeat the cursed spirits to bring light back to the world. I hope you've enjoyed this overview of The Pathless. We've only scratched the surface. There's so much more to explore and discover. The Pathless is coming out later this year. Thanks for watching.
all day 2020.
Next up, let's see what's in store for Spelunky 2.
There's a sequel.
Hi, my name is Derek Yu, and I'm the creator of Spelunky.
I remember when
For
Spelunky was a
Spelunky
thing.
2, I wanted to make sure we made something that got old fans excited and
This is
also
like
brought in new
Gavrok
players.
Fibonor era of YouTube.
It was
by the
important we
way.
didn't change
Shout
the
out to
things that
Gavrok
made
Fibonor.
Spelunky such a unique experience in the first place. So many people became fans of the game through their friends and family, and even strangers on the internet. That's one
Yeah.
reason why we're adding online multiplayer.
And there were death
so that more
compilations
people can
as
play
well.
the game together.
Many death compilations.
And I also wanted to include that feeling of community into Spelunky 2 itself to make sure that the game felt welcoming even though it's difficult.
Always remember,
In
don't
Spelunky 2, when
kick
you
the
do runs
maiden.
and discover new characters, you'll also be building an in-game community and family.
And never rob the
I
shopkeeper.
designed the world of Spelunky 2 to feel much more rich and dynamic than Spelunky 1. It's going to feel a lot more full. Players will be able to explore and interact with it in lots of new ways. For example, you'll be able to ride turkeys and find hidden passageways. And you'll have to choose between branching paths as you make your way deeper into the caves. As a result, the stories players create will have much more texture to them. Even after many hours of playing, I still have interesting runs that don't even go past the first area.
Yeah, that can
In
happen.
Spelunky 1, runs often centered around the shops and how you chose to interact with them.
Yeah, don't do that.
So in
do
Spelunky
not
2,
do
we've
that.
expanded the
This is
shopping
a bad
experience
thing.
and made them more nuanced and
Hilarious,
exciting.
but bad.
And also added new characters that can help you or hinder you.
Now you have companions this time.
Given how amazing the Spelunky community is, it's hard to say how long it will take to find the deepest secrets. But I think the great thing about Spelunky is that the deepest secrets are the ones that even I don't know about. And there are lots of new things to play with that I hope players can use to push past the boundaries of what we, as the developers, know about the game. I have two types of favorite stories from Spelunky fans. First are when people are genuinely surprised by something that happened in the game. And second, the ones where people shared a fun experience with friends and family in multiplayer. These are the stories I wanted to expand upon in Spelunky 2. They're really what guided my design choices. After releasing Spelunky, I knew there was a lot more that could be done with the concept and the world. Knowing that possibility was out there is what's been exciting for me and the rest of the team.
I honestly don't
In
know
a
if
lot of
anyone's
ways,
ever
when
finished
Spelunky 2 comes out, I want players to experience what we experienced making it. That feeling that there's something special there waiting for you to discover it. A big thanks to the fans who've waited patiently for us to finish Spelunky 2. It It's been a long journey, but I think it's gonna be worth it. Thanks.
Oh, God, enemies. Or is that abominable snowman? Coming out next month.
We've got a bunch of new PS4 updates to share with you, starting with a closer look at Genshin Impact.
Alright. Haven't seen this one.
Hey, there's something strange over there. Come on, let's take a look.
Voice acting sounds crisp. Unique anime style. People with different powers and abilities. Okay.
I summon thee!
Very rocking music. So far things have been pretty interesting. We're only halfway through.
I deal in death. If you cannot bring yourself to kill, speak my name.
What is this disturbance to which I awaken?
Disturbance and noise.
Think you can get away?
No.
Tourniquets?
Time for takeoff!
Sentient filth. I claim your mind for the Void Armada. Gods have squealed for my mercy. Who are you to stand in the way of my vengeance?
Now this is very interesting in a futuristic retro style.
What a waste of stardust. Go all out or go home, Emperor.
Wow, this is just going all over the place. This is absolutely crazy.
I'm not done yet.
It's hard to believe this is a video game in this day and age. Aeon Must Die, 2021. Anno Mutation. It's like a cyberpunk-esque style. Very urban.
It's time to talk bug snacks. Let's check out some gameplay footage captured from PS5.
This again.
My invitation is open. Come join me on the island of bug snacks.
Wow, that's your new lead? Another monster hunt? Elizabeth Megafig is a two-bit con artist! Don't tell me you actually believe this half-baked nonsense! I swear, if you chase this bug snack story, you're out of a job!
You're the journalist! Lisbeth said you'd be coming. There's a bug snack right over there. Do me a favor and take my snack trap.
Stranger, I could use your help. This bunger goes wild for ketchup. We'll use it to lead the bunger over yonder.
I want you to use that journalistic instinct to find out what my favorite bug snack is. And feed it to me, Obs.
How's my little sprout doing? He misses Papa? Oh, of course he does.
Well, I have a few prototype traps that I could put to use.
You're pretty good at stuff, and nobody hates you yet. You can catch bug snacks and bring everybody back to Snacksburg.
Well, say you do find these bug snacks and make it back alive. You just might keep your job. Now get going and try not to fall off a cliff.
There's a lot more in store. Let's start with an update on an eagerly awaited PlayStation VR game.
Okay, this I was not expecting.
The Force is strong with you.
VR Star Wars game.
You must stop Vida.
I don't understand why you never mentioned that you had the Force.
Types of lightsaber combat. And you can master the dark side. Vader Immortal.
Whatever you do, stay in the light.
Control. Interesting kind of multiplayer type game, I think. Not really my cup of tea, but I'm sure people will enjoy this. Getting points there, jumping up the leaderboard. Auto chess. going back to something wholly surreal. These are always fun, these sort of unorthodox puzzle games, where you literally have to think outside of the box. Yeah, I can definitely see this being fun. Nice little pastime. The pedestrian.
Now let's take a look at 2 new games headed to PS5.
We are the forest shadows. Ghosts, running silently between the straight, cold lines of a corrupt state.
Quieting down, don't shed a tear.
This is certainly very dystopian.
Ration, manipulate.
There's a wolf in the night and he's talking.
They've taken everything from those they claim to protect.
When the statesmen ravage and
Authority and steel will not stop us. We aren't an invading army.
of the forest will be right at hand.
We are wraiths. We bypass defenses and strike at the heart.
The ghost of the forest, the wraith of the night. Won't think twice, he'll be by your side. The stag on his quiver, it's the archer's eye.
We take back what was stolen,
When the hoods both fly
and the people call us heroes.
from the dead of night.
To others, we are rivals. We are all outlaws. But some of us will become legends.
When hoods both flies from the dead of night.
Alright. Another quirky-esque game.
Before we wrap up, let's take a tour of Godfall. We've got new PS5 gameplay for this melee-focused action epic launching this holiday.
Hello, my name is Keith Lee, and I am the game director for Godfall. On behalf of Counterplay Games, we are very excited to share gameplay with you today and to offer you a glimpse into the mystical world of Godfall. Today, you'll be seeing extensive gameplay captured on a PlayStation 5 development kit. please keep in mind that the game is still a work in progress, and some things may change from the final product as we continue to learn and harness the power of Sony's next generation console. Please enjoy. So let's jump right into what Godfall is. Godfall is a looter slasher that features intense action, satisfying moment-to-moment combat, and robust loot progression systems. You can enjoy the game at your own pace, playing alone, or through online co-op with up to 2 additional teammates. Godfall is set in a brand new high fantasy universe filled with heroic knights, arcane magic, and forbidden realms. The world is split up into the elemental realms of earth, water, air, and fire.
A very familiar trope.
Godfall is a complete package. All loot and gear in the game are acquired or unlocked through gameplay. There are no microtransactions, no waiting for content. It's all in the game on day one. As you adventure, you'll get to tear through enemies to challenge a mad god who awaits you at the top. You play a Valorian knight, a godlike warrior able to equip valor plates, legendary armor sets that transform you into an unstoppable master of melee combat. Throughout your journey, you'll find ancient valor plates lost in time, each with their own characteristics and long history. Now let's talk about gameplay in Godfall. First, our team wanted to do something different. We wanted to combine action RPG loot progression with third-person melee combat to create what we think is a looter slasher. Our game is therefore one part gear-driven and one part player skill-driven. In other words, not only do we want you to find exquisite weapons with powerful loot traits, but we also want you to have that feeling of accomplishment for mastering the wide set of combat mechanics available to you in Godfall. From a combat philosophy perspective, the melee combat in Godfall is intended to be fluid, dynamic, and interactive, embracing offense over defense. More often than not, you'll be facing multiple enemies at the same time. As a result, you should always be moving and closing the gap on enemies. Also, you dominate the combat space, not the enemies, and the game rewards you for being aggressive. Now that you're familiar with the combat philosophy, let's dig into the weapons themselves. In Godfall, there are 5 weapon classes: the longsword, the dual blades, the polearm, the two-handed warhammer, and the two-handed greatsword. Each weapon class has their own unique movesets and playstyles, ranging from fast combos to more strategic, deliberate play. As you defeat enemies in your adventures, you will acquire numerous weapons. For each weapon category, each weapon with their own primary and secondary traits. At a later date, we will delve into the weapon classes and how to modify them in greater detail. For now, we'll go over the dual blades and longsword weapon classes. The dual blades are the fastest weapon class in Godfall, embodying speed, fluidity, and mobility. The dual blades are exceptional against soft, unarmored targets or single targets. You can perform a combo by executing 4 consecutive light attacks. The dual blades heavy attack is a spinning blade cyclone. The blade cyclone can also be used as a finisher at the end of your light attack combo. So what are the signature moves for the dual blades? As you build up charge, you can also activate Inner Focus, which is unique to the dual blades, which inflicts massive damage in a short period of time. There's also Mortal Coil, where you can throw your blade into an enemy, pulling the enemy towards you, like pulling a cable. Now let's switch to the longsword weapon class. Longswords are balanced weapons, embodying crisp damage and simple cooldowns without needing a lot of elaborate combo setups. Similar to dual blades, longswords have their own 4-hit light attack combo. Then there's the heavy attack finisher, which can be used at the end of your light attack combo. There are 3 signature moves for the longsword class. There's Spectral Flurry, which cannot be interrupted and deals high damage to multiple nearby targets. Then there's Spiral Technique, which eviscerates all enemies in a straight fixed path. Notice there's a white flash after a longsword swing called a timing attack. If you press the shield button exactly at the same time, you'll perform a devastating shield uppercut with your longsword. The shield is a core part of Godfall. It's available to you throughout the entire game. You can always block incoming attacks with your shield. If you press the shield button at the right time, you can also parry an attack. You can perform a light attack after a last-second shield block to counterattack with a powerful shield strike. The shield is great not just for defense, but also offense. You can aim and throw your shield, which will hit multiple nearby targets. If you tap the shield button just as you catch your shield, you can perform a powerful wave attack. You can double tap the shield button to petrify enemies. And of course, you can perform an R3 ground finisher on enemies that were knocked down to the ground. We hope you enjoyed our first walkthrough video of Godfall running on the PlayStation 5. We also want to thank all the fans for their endless support since our initial reveal back in December. We have a few more surprises coming down the road, such as details on loot and progression, and are eager to share more with you on our way to launch this holiday season. We hope that you will join our Godfall community on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Thank you.
Definitely looking pretty good.
That's a wrap. We hope you enjoyed this peek into the future of PlayStation. See you next time.
Well, that was certainly very exciting, to say the least. Good that there were a wide variety of different game styles and artistic styles. Each game had its sort of own unique identity on the during the presentation, and quite a number of them I'm actually fairly intrigued by. But that was my reaction for this month's Sony PlayStation State of Play for 2020. And I shall see you all another time. As always, adventurers, until next we meet.